Okay, this is my Atari Jaguar. Original experience with one of these machines was my brother had one. He got it as a gift. Pretty much when it came out in Europe. I remember we would spend a long time playing Aliens vs Predator and the Bruce Lee game that they had on it. Yeah, it was pretty decent at the time. Although the general feeling I remember back then was that it didn't really have much of a chance, and yeah, that turned out to be true. But still, good memories of playing with my brother on this machine. I picked mine up from a web store in the UK. Like all my other machines, modified to a degree. It's got a frequency switch, which was probably one of the simplest mods I've had to do. You just bridge a point or not. Weirdly enough, unlike most other consoles I have, it doesn't actually have like ports on the back for the video and stuff. It's got an edge connector. So if you want RGB out or something from this machine, you have to buy some very specific cables, and they're either the original ones which people sell for stupid amounts on eBay, or they're sort of like custom jobs which are seldom shielded or anything. What I actually did is I found in an electronics store this little thing, an edge connector, which just so happens to exactly match the pin out of this board here. So I took this, I hacked it up, and then wired it up correctly to a female spark plug. So I then plug in this little adapter, and I can use a regular shielded SCART cable to connect to my TV. I was quite happy with that little mod. I'll be showing that later. Oddly enough, no dust cover on the Jaguar. The port's just like right there to the air. Strange that, and it also looks exactly like a PCI slot. I wonder if you could shove a PCI card in there. Would it work? Who knows. But that's the Atari Jaguar. Okay, my Jaguar games. Copy of the absolutely terrible CyberMorph. Okay, so I'd like to think that there are actually many games on the Jaguar that are worth playing and trying out. Sadly, CyberMorph is not one of them. It's pretty terrible. And I actually heard it was like a game that they originally designed for another model of this system that was like less powerful or something. Yeah, okay, so it looks like ass, plays like ass.
Where did you learn to fly?
Yeah, okay. Iron Soldier. Okay, Iron Soldier is like a mech game. It's quite interesting, although perhaps a little too slow. I think they should have made everything move a bit faster. Let's take a very quick look. It's like a number of different missions you can do. I really like the introductions of the missions. The artwork is nice and everything. It's pretty cool looking. So yeah, you can see the mech is made up of about 10 polygons. But you know, you get to pick different weapons and where you want to put them and so on. Right now this guy doesn't actually have anything, so we're going out pretty basic. And I need to remember how to play it as well. Okay, there's a machine gun. Oh yeah, right, so you've got an accelerator, you can put it into reverse or go forward. So sort of you set your forwards and rear momentum and then just point the direction where you want to go. So it looks pretty simple, but it's still kind of fun, you know. It's not bad at all. particularly when, you know, it's not going to cost you much of anything to get this game. It's quite common on the platform, at least. If you run a bullish, you can smack things with your robot hands. Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, so I'm just going to blow some stuff up for a minute. Something's shooting me in the back. Let's put the brakes on and turn around. You see, maybe it's sort of realistic that your mech turns really slow, but it's not fun to play when you're crawling around. Ah, Mr. Tank, you's in trouble. I'm gonna run over you. Boom! Bubsy, Fractured Fairytales. This is Bubsy, Fractured Fairytales. It's a fairly average platformer, but I have very good memories of playing this with my brother because he used to have a Jaguar, and yeah, we played this a lot and we played through quite far, if I remember. Might have even seen him finish it one time, but going back to it now, I like the music and the art's pretty decent and everything, but it's pretty hard. I don't remember it being so difficult. I guess it's another one of those things that when you're younger you tend to spend more time perhaps and have slightly sharper skills. Whoa. So I'm not doing too bad at the moment, actually. I haven't died like 10 meters out of the gate. Well, there we go. So you've got to be real careful, but you know, it's kind of fun, and for me there's some good memories of playing this. Tempest 2000. This is really cool. Okay, so here is a game that's worth playing. It's got really cool music. Let's have a look. It's a bit trippy. It looks like a music visualizer, to be honest, but it's simple and just kind of fun to play. So, you know, if you do get yourself a Jaguar, this is one to check out. You can get it for next to nothing, and it's good fun. Gets progressively more difficult and so on. Got my ass blown away. So yeah, if you like techno music and trippy visuals and sort of fun, simple games, give this one a shot. Super Burnout. Okay, here's Super Burnout, and this is a game I really like to I like to show people who just think the Jaguar does really terrible 3D, which sadly in a lot of games you can find on the platform, well, a lot that there were, it tends to be the case, but there's a lot of really good 2D stuff, and Super Burnout is like, well, super hang on speed or something. It's faster, it's got more items in the background and so on, and it's pretty damn cool. Let's get a race going.
Ready, set, go!
Has a really good feel, great sense of speed. and a lot of fun to play. Ooh! But it's games like this and also Rayman that I'll show later that really made me wonder that it's a pity that they didn't focus on the great 2D capabilities this machine has, rather than trying to make terrible 3D games that just didn't compete with the other platforms.
Best time.
Oh yeah! Alien vs Predator. Notably complete with the manual in a good condition. And the cartridge, just in a little baggie here. And all, oops, upside down. All 3 overlays, none of the tabs broken. Okay, Alien vs Predator is an iconic game for the Jaguar. Most people who know the system know about this game. Coming back to it now, I see that the frame rate is pretty low and the complexity of the levels is also not very high, but it still has that thing that really caught me when I first played this. It's the atmosphere of this game is really good. Even from that creepy sort of sci-fi music to how the game plays out. Bring up the menu. My favorite character to play was always the Predator. Has a really interesting system that you, depending on how you play, you earn honor, and getting more and more honor unlocks the different levels of weapons. So you can't just walk around killing people cloaked because that's dishonorable and will lower your rank. The Alien has a great system that you infect people, and then when your guy dies, he's very weak and dies quite easily. One of the people you've impregnated earlier will then hatch, and you'll start off from there. And the Marine is your typical grunt. It's got a very difficult mission, the Marine, actually, in this game. I only ever managed to complete it with the Predator and the Marine. I ought to try doing it with the Alien someday. Well, let's have a quick look at the Alien anyway. So yeah, the frame rate is not great. I ate him pretty good. So the Alien has like a tail, a bite, and a claw attack, which you can use, you know, the different sort of speeds and so on. Oh, alright. Because being an alien, I do know how to operate airlocks. Having the 6-button Jaguar controller is pretty good, but that you can do strafing without having to like hold a button down to modify your movement. So I'd recommend using the 6-button controller if you want to play this game. So the graphics are pretty good, even if the level geometry is quite simple. And the 3 different characters play quite differently, so you get different experiences and different missions, so different things to do. And the ship is actually quite large, could take a long time to explore. It's this is a good game to build a map with, because you have like a map function somewhere. Or perhaps the alien doesn't have the map. I forget what button it was. I'm not using the overlays even though I've got one. Alright, so claw, tail, claw. And now he's cocoon. If you see down in the bottom left, you can see the cells developing. So as long as I stay alive long enough that that develops into an alien that's ready to hatch, my game will keep on continuing. So I'll respawn back at this point where this guy is. Oh, hello, he's got a friend back there. So yeah, the frame rate could be better, but it's just the atmosphere is really great and it's still good to play even today. Here's another one. Rayman. Again, complete. Okay, it's Rayman, the very first one. And this is, in my mind, the game to show how good the 2D could be on this platform. It's got great animation, great color. It's just really, really good looking 2D game. And to top it off, Rayman is fun to play. Got a save going on here. Let's have a look. Anguish Lagoon. Picked up most of the things you need to collect on here, but let's see. So there's everything's sort of moving. There's beautiful use of color. Got him. Pretty fun music, easy going. So yeah, for Jaguar owners, I really, really wholeheartedly recommend this. And Rayman's available on other platforms, like the PlayStation for instance. So there are other ways to play it. But this was the platform it first came out from, so I guess that makes it a bit special. Oh, boss. And he got me. And finally Doom. And Doom on the Jaguar. This is basically the best cartridge-based version of Doom I would say that there is. It has the one noticeable downside is that there's no music during the gameplay, but you can just do what I would do, which was like take the PC soundtrack or the 3DO soundtrack and put it on the CD player while you're playing. Jam away to that. So it's not really a great loss. But this is it has a lot of similarities to the 32X version, which I've also played a lot of. Except this one is full screen. It has light shading, so you can see in the background it's darker and there's dark areas. The 32X version actually has no lighting. So this version is full screen, has lighting. Let's have me plenty going, and has network play. You can actually play this online. Hang on, let me just yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. So I mean, if you happen to have a Jaguar and not a PC that was any good, you could be very happy, I think, with this version of the game. It has a really good frame rate. Graphics are decent. This is a game that actually looks really good with the scan lines turned on. I have to have them turned off when I make these videos because the camera hates it. Alright, but you know Doom, everybody knows Doom. This is a really good version of it. Okay, and that is my Atari Jaguar video. They're not hard to get, they're not expensive to get. Emulation is pretty terrible. So, as I mentioned, there are games worth playing. Ignore the one on the end. So it is a system worth a little bit of attention.